Well, just where to start really, and I think a good place to start is here, because coal mining in this region, in this particular Jarrow South Tyneside region, was started by a guy called Simon Temple. Now he lived in this big house here, he built that house. So it's quite significant that, you know, that it's part of the mining heritage, although I don't think people really know the story. And what happened was Simon Temple was like an entrepreneur of the time. He was like a Richard Branson, if you like. He owned shipyards and coal mines. They were his two big industrial projects, and he became quite successful, as you can imagine. Building a house like that at the end of the 17th century would be quite a significant achievement. So, as far as we know, what the Palmer shipyard, which is famous in Jarrow, the first wooden dry docks were built by Temple, and in South Shields, the market dock, which is one of the older docks in South Shields, was where Temple built some wooden ships as well. And we think the reason he got into wooden shipbuilding as well was to carry his coal from here down south to the market in London, where the bulk of the sales happened. And it just so happened that unions had done so. It's a terrific day that the Miners' Gala. I know I'm prejudiced, but I mean, I've been going since the 1960s. It seems to bring all the communities, because if some of these Durham villages that had pits and nothing else are still in a terrible state, you know, that they rely on places like this, community centres and people's goodwill, because the unemployment is virtually non-existent. People have got to travel to get work and so on. So people move out of the villages, and the villages, a lot of the Durham villages are in a bit of a state, but then again, some of them are very nice places to live, rural villages. And one thing the banner groups do is bring the communities together. And I must say there's been a lot of it. I mean, this is the third one we've done. We started off replacing Kilda banner, then we did Harlem. A benefactor as well. In fact, when he built Jarrow Colliery, he built a school and a chapel for the local community. So he was keen on miners' children and wives being educated, which was quite revolutionary for the time in 1800. And he did the same at Templetown. He built a pit and a terraced houses for the workers to live in, and the chapel, which is still there. I don't know whether you know South Shields that well, but if you go down Commercial Road, there's like a timber line, and there's a dance studio. And the dance studio was actually the site of the Methodist chapel that Temple opened. Now what happened was, as everybody knows, coal mining and shipbuilding are risky operations. And what happened was, when he lost the coal at Templetown, the Navy had cancelled the orders for his naval ships. So he had no coal mines and he had no ship being built. So he was unfortunately declared bankrupt. And the reason he was declared bankrupt was because in the good times he was doing very well, because he was being paid for the coal and paid for the ships. And he realised that the coal had gone from Templetown in Tyne Dock, and he sank St Hilda shaft. But at the time, he was declared bankrupt because of cash flow problems. And he was actually building Hilton Castle to live in, or converting Hilton Castle because it was empty. And he built the chapel again at Hilton Castle, and he was, so he was using his money and putting it back into the community. But unfortunately, he went bankrupt.